For the ladies, what questions do you guys have for men that you don't understand about men?
Girl,
I think
so many.
I think my like confusion is, what does the man that, you know, that fights through all these battles and gets to the candy store and tries to take it over, what does that look like in today's world? I think that's the problem with us younger women. I don't know, it's not like back in the day where it was clear. We live in a different world, you know. The social media, it confuses us, you know, so we're just like, the words like rappers and footballers and you know, Drake get thrown into these conversations, and it's like, oh yeah, that's what a high value man is. So but it's like,
what's your question?
It's like, what does that guy look like in today's society, or is it the same?
Well, she read it off, but I don't think you have to be Drake to be high value. As I said, I don't like the word. You know, I don't like the alpha, the beta, the high value. I don't like any of those things. But I think a man that completely takes care of business and can give you a life that you'd have never had otherwise, and he can be the hero to you, and he takes pride in that, not by belittling you, but by loving you and empowering you to level up to where he's trying to go, so you can be on his arm when he's at that event.
Yeah, that's the right way.
You know what I'm saying? It's true. It's not about belittling.
Yeah.
It's about building up. And that's why I asked you the question I asked you earlier.
That's what bothers a lot of women.
Yes, ma'am, I know.
Yeah.
But when you have a real man in front of you, he wants to build you up.
That's why we can't even say that people are high value men until you actually like that. Like Drake, to be honest, I've never really seen him with like a proper relationship.
Yeah.
Right, and that's a placeholder situation. Now, I will say that it's probably smart to protect the queen in that regard. And if Drake is smart, he'll never let you see her.
Yeah. That makes sense, of course.
But hopefully, if that woman exists, he's building her up. He's almost doing everything he can to put every amount of knowledge in her, so she's qualified to be with him at the Grammys.
And he understands. She understands.
Listen, baby, you gotta dress like, you can talk like this when they do this. Start with the forks here. Like, he loves her. I pick you, so I develop you and I protect you from the world. Like, I'm here to protect you. It's me and you, and I've got you.
And the thing, I think why it's so hard for like women to like understand that is because that now is seen as so toxic, and it's like anyone that acts like that, it's, oh, you're a toxic man, or it's coming from insecurities. We are living in an upside down world. And even if we do go back to the Bible, like kings, they did have multiple wives. And not just multiple wives, but they also had what's it called?
Concubines.
Yeah. And it kind of makes sense that these people were so loved by God, and it's like adultery. It kind of makes sense for you to say cheating is when you're deceitful.
But what is toxic masculinity anyway? It's just a couple of words. It's just a buzzword that somebody's made up, and it now gets applied to all manner of things that just because somebody doesn't like it.
It's an easy way to attack a weak man and get him to shut up.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of feminists say that they subconsciously associate masculinity with negativity. That's where it comes from. That they subconsciously don't like men, you know, and they act it out. They don't know they are.
It's true. It's like, even when they say he needs to open up more and be more emotionally available, you're teaching a man to be a woman. Men don't talk about their problems the same way that women do.
They want to bring them down,
and they're automatically assuming that the female way is the right way. And so like they're saying the male way of dealing with problems, like being aggressive, getting into a fight, not talking about them, that's wrong. But the female way of talking about our problems is right.
Yeah.
And it's like we're brainwashing men and trying to turn them into women.
Yeah. If you talk to them long enough, they will tell you that as well.
And they're learning that in school as well.
They've told I went out with someone. I think I mentioned that I was reassessing the way I approached some relationships in an effort to provide more value to people who cared about me, because I can be too introverted sometimes. And her immediate response was, "Oh, someone's grown up. This is a grown woman." And she apologized for it profusely after. But I noticed these things. I was like, "That's what you really think, right? You think, oh, I get therapy." If you really listen to them, how they think when they say, "I want to be his mother. I have to act like his mother." It's there, guys. If you listen long enough, it's there. But to answer your question as to what a respectful man is, I would say I am somewhat respectable, so I want to give my opinion. In dance, I noticed that a lot of the women go for the teachers who are very overtly sexual and who know how to press their buttons. They know exactly how to say things, how to create the drama the women like. And only after they've been with that guy do they then realize, I want to have like someone who's actually going to commit to me as well as being a sexy dance teacher. So they get with some loser who does a lot of work, who talks to everyone, who's not particularly attractive. And then that doesn't work out. Then they come to me and be like, okay, you've got all those qualities, but now you've already disqualified yourself.
Yeah.
You know? Because I spoke to you a while ago. I normally do this. I talk to women, I ask them out. I'm not the best. I don't say like particularly witty things or interesting things. I do that on purpose because I don't think I have to be witty to spend time with someone to get to know someone. I think the effort in itself is valuable. So I let them filter me out, knowing that, yeah, you're going to get with Pedro and Juan, and then it's going to be Tim and David. And then you're going to be back here winking at me every Saturday. And, you know, and it's a shame they have to learn through experience, but it's literally a cycle. Dance salsa, learn to dance, you will see the line. You learn so quickly. So value those qualities. Value the guy who comes in and he's playing by example. Value the men who have values. Value the men who aren't chasing. I know it's easy to pick the guy who's constantly chasing you, who's texting you every day, who's doing the most, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's valuable. That doesn't necessarily mean he likes you. He could just be horny.
But I feel like a high value man, a woman will want him without him doing anything.
Yes,
I agree.
Like 1,000%. I feel like you like chasing,
absorb women.
Like I feel like women. It's so sad to say, but you like the guy that actually does nothing. Like my brother, he's someone. He told me that he's very good looking. My brother, yeah, he used to do modeling and stuff, and he told me he's never spoken. Like he's never like gone to speak to a girl before. Like a girl has always just come to him, and I was like, what? Like, are you serious? And he was like, yeah, but. It's like, I don't know if he's going to find his wife that way, but I don't think he's looking for a wife right now. But it's like the woman will always come to you if you just attract it.
Well, I think generally in human nature, we want the things that we can't quite get. You know, we want things we can't quite grab hold of. But it seems to be particularly acute in women as far as dating's concerned. You know, they want that guy. They think they can't quite get him. They can't quite get hold of him. You know, maybe he's too... And it's the hypergamy thing, isn't it? You know, is he a little bit too high value for me? Is he slightly out of my reach? Those are the guys that they tend to want. Or you tend to want on a visceral sort of level.
He loves me not.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What do you want to know about men?
Me?
Yeah. What questions do you have?
I might have a little think, you know. I might double it and pass it on to the next person.
I don't really have anything I want to learn about men particularly. To be honest, I don't have like any actual questions.
So you were brought up in Brazil, were you? You were born in Brazil?
Half, yeah. I was born in America, then I moved to Brazil.
Right, okay. Because obviously the society there is a lot more traditional than here, right? So you see a lot of differences when you're here.
Like my family is like an extremely traditional family. Like my parents expect me to get married in the next few years, be a wife. My mum's like, growing up, my mum would make like jokes like, oh, like say I would eat something and leave the wrap on the table. She'd be like, oh, your husband's going to send you back if you continue this behavior. Just like little things like that, you know.
I have a question, and don't take offense to this. How does your mom like the tattoos and the nose ring and the crop tops? Because you say you're raised to be a wife and you're like more of a traditional woman, and you very well might be, but the way that you present yourself to the world,
I know it's very different. And
so it's like, how if a guy was to approach you, is he going to approach you like a wife, or is he going to approach you like a side chick?
Well, yeah, obviously I have guys approaching me every single type of way. But once people know what I'm on and know how I am, then they'll approach me the way like I want to.
Yeah, but we start with looks, right? So if you're walking down the street,
but this is the way I choose to look. Obviously, I'm gonna attract the different, like a different reaction than I originally want.
But I ask, I'm just wondering why. Like, why live on hard mode?
I don't really live on hard mode. This is just the way I choose to.
Just like that's
I mean, because you're beautiful, so I'm sure you get approached regardless, right?
I'm not really looking to get approached by anyone right now, like.
But I just wonder, like, why, if you were raised to be like traditional, it's like you're advertising.
I get what you mean, because even when I started wearing the crop tops, when I started getting the tattoos, trust me, my parents did not speak to me when I started getting the tattoos. They didn't, like, they're all asking me, why are you dressing this way if you were raised in a very Christian household? But it's just the way I choose to present myself.
Is it a reaction against?
I don't really think it's a reaction against. It's just my personal style, because I wear a crop top, but then I'll wear like something longer my legs. It's not like I'm showing my whole body, or I'm acting provocative, or I'm acting in a certain way with men. Like, maybe I'm that one example that maybe you can present yourself in one way and be completely the other. Because as you say, we speak about the huge majority, but it's not every single person that's going to be like that.
I don't remember if you said earlier, do you want to be married in the next couple of years?
Be married in the next couple of years.
So wouldn't it make sense to present yourself like a wife?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so can we take out the nose ring? I'll be so happy.
No.
She got 2 on her tongue, 1 in her belly.
You have a tongue ring too?
2. She's got 2.
No, but I don't feel like I think if you like it, you like it.
I don't feel like that determines the type of person I am. Because if any of you took just 10 minutes out of your day to sit down.
No, you're very sweet. I've spoken to you all
very
show.
Lovely.
Yeah,
but it's more
it's the way I present myself. I agree. I'm not saying anything against like the way I look, the way I present myself. I completely agree. The tattoos, the piercings, the crop top. It does say something.
But yeah, I'm just saying.
It just doesn't.
The reason I'm saying this is because I want you to win.
Yeah.
Like I want you to win in life.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, as nice as it is for people to say, oh, wear what you want, do what you want. It's like it's not going to help you get the outcomes you seem to want.
It could, to be honest. I've come across a lot of different people in my life. I present myself in this way, but I get a lot of different reactions. Like, it's all about how you are as a person. Like, this is all about appearance.
No, but that's wrong.
About appearance,
that's wrong because men judge you on the way you look.
Yeah, men judge on appearance, but then when they actually take that extra step to see how you are,
they're not going to take the extra step to see how you are because they already put you in a box.
Then that's
their choice. What they're going to think is, hey, if I make her my wife, if she's my girlfriend, she's going to dress like
I
like
agree.
this, and this is going to represent
I'm
me.
not saying anything against it. Like, I agree, men will think that if I dress a certain way, but that's just not the way I am personally.
But surely if a guy came to you and said like first glance and didn't give you the time of day just because of your tattoos and the crop top and the nose ring and whatever, you're emotionally intelligent enough to clock onto that and be like, okay, well, you're not the type of guy that I would
that you would want anyway.
If you couldn't put me in a box like that, I'll shut you in the box.
Skin. I actually used to put this on my skin. I'm not that type of like, cool, maybe you can think all sorts of crazy things. Trust me, I get all sorts of crazy reactions with the type of tattoos I have, with the type of dress, like the way I dress.
Do you judge men based on how they dress? Like if a guy is dressed like a homeless man?
Yeah, of course. As first appearance always matters.
Okay.
So that's why I'm not saying anything against like my looks.
Right. So I'm saying like you started shaming men for judging her and say, well, that's no, not you. And you were saying that, oh, well, that's not the type of man I would want anyways. But how do you know that? Because if you saw a guy that was that looked homeless, even though he wasn't, you might disqualify him based on, everyone disqualifies everyone based on looks.
Not shaming men as such, but I'm just saying like for her, like I'd hope that she was emotionally intelligent enough to be like, okay, well, if you're going to put me in that box, I have the equal right to then say, okay, then if you're going to put me in a box like that, I can equally put you in a box and move on with my life.
You're taking a defensive stance, and I think it's more about kind of being conscious and aware of things. I think the defense is unnecessary. You don't have to defend yourself spiritually. I think you just have to be more conscious that like those high level guys will notice the tattoos. Like I don't care personally, but some guys will.
Yeah.
And you got to just accept that like
I would say
maybe if I wanted to date like Bill Gates' son or like some aristocrat from France, maybe he won't be into that.
And unfortunately, because you're beautiful, he'll probably lie to you.
Thank you. Wait, sorry, I just lost my train of thought.
Yeah, I called you beautiful.
I don't really judge people really. Like, I know people would 100% think things of me just purely based on my tattoos. Just on that fact alone. But I never let that really play into my mind. Like, I have a very realistic mindset.
Well, I would just say if you do want to be married or you do want a long-term relationship, then I would dress like someone that wants to be in one.
Yeah, but I don't want to be married right now.
Okay.
I don't need anyone to like guide the way I dress right now. But obviously, if I'm married, if I have a man,
no,
I'm not going to be.
You said you wanted to get married in the next couple of years.
Couple of years, yeah, a few years, more likely a few years than a couple.
Okay.
Maybe we need to add into that 1% though. Like if you want to get married to somebody from that 1%.
No, it's not. No, I'm sorry. No, it's just. No, men across the board judge women with tattoos. Men across the board judge. You know, if we're gonna say a balance of probability, like there's exceptions, but if we're gonna talk about across the board, the men you want. Like I'm from a pretty well-off community, and like most of my brothers make six figures. Most people in our circles make six figures, and I can tell you that they absolutely judge you if you have tattoos. They absolutely judge you if you have piercings. And I didn't always like this. When I was younger, I was like, Mom, you're so judgmental. Why? Like, I was so mad that she wouldn't let me like do this stuff. And then the older I get, the more I see that she's right. And I just, you know, I really, you know, if I can encourage you in a different direction, that's probably what I'm going to do.
It's not the be all and end all though. Yep. Not at all. I think you could actually end up making it something that works for you. A classy woman with tattoo does stir some intrigue. That could be interesting. So we're not giving you like some kind of final judgment.
Yeah, it's not a death sentence at all.
Yeah. No, just get a couple of sundresses and you'll be fine.
Yeah, no one's gonna watch you.
Everyone in this room hated my tattoos. I love them.
They're great tattoos. They're lovely.
They're beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I personally don't have a thing against tattoo, but I'm not gonna lie. If I saw someone with tattoos, it doesn't scream "take me out to dinner." Talk to me every night, treat me like wifey. It kind of screams like you've probably had 2 or 3 toxic relationships. Like, you know.
Yeah, I get what you're
That's my first impression. It's not
You're
right.
on the journey.
Yeah.
You know.
As many of you know, I was just banned on TikTok, and we are demonetized on a daily basis on this platform. If you want to help, please consider sending a super thanks below. Every donation helps, and it helps make what we do possible.